Today's question comes from Chris, and it is, what is beta-glucuronidase, and is it an important test to run? Well, I'm so glad you asked this question because we can learn so much from beta-glucuronidase, and most people don't know anything about it. In fact, it's really important when we're talking about estrogen metabolism. Let me explain. Beta-glucuronidase is an enzyme. Enzymes typically end in ASE, and it's produced by a bacteria in the large intestine, in the colon. And what it can do is it can cleave off estrogen from glucuronic acid. Now let's look upstream for a moment. When we're detoxifying estrogen, both in men and women, it goes through phase 1 and phase 2 liver detoxification. In phase 2 liver detoxification, there's the conjugation pathways. And one of those conjugation pathways is called glucuronidation. In glucuronidation, what the body does is it takes glucuronic acid, which are like handcuffs, puts it on the estrogen to help make it water soluble and then to help with its facilitation of removal out of the body. It's like a villain that's put in handcuffs and then escorted out of the body. But that villain is still a threat until it's in jail, right? So jail in this case would be outside of the body. And what can happen with estrogen is that it gets detoxed through phase 1 and phase 2. It gets conjugated with the glucuronic acid, so the handcuffs go on. It gets dumped in the bile and subsequently in the small intestine. It ends up in the colon. And if there are certain bacteria there that are out of balance, these bacteria can create an enzyme known as beta-glucuronidase. And that beta-glucuronidase cleaves off the estrogen, basically reversing all the work that your body did and puts that estrogen back into circulation. This can result in estrogen dominance if this is a process that happens year after year. And if there's also low progesterone, this can further the issue of estrogen dominance. So this can be easily picked up in a stool test, in functional stool tests that are a bit more advanced. And we can actually see how much beta-glucuronidase is being produced, and then we can get an idea if this is a factor in that individual's estrogen dominance. Now, this would be applicable to both women and men. Really important to not have too much beta-glucuronidase, and if there is, then it's a proxy for understanding that there might be some dysbiosis happening in the colon and probably along the whole digestive tract, and that needs to be addressed. There are ways to inhibit some of the action of beta-glucuronidase to make sure that it doesn't create a problem in the meantime. One of them would be calcium D-glucarate, and that could be really helpful with estrogen metabolism and helping to detoxify the estrogen appropriately. Other things we want to think about are fiber, eating whole foods with lots of fiber as well. That helps to soak up and facilitate the removal of estrogen out of the body. Interesting side note, beta-glucuronidase has also been associated with colon cancer. So again, it's a proxy for understanding what the environment in the colon is like and understanding that if we see high levels of beta-glucuronidase, it tells us that upstream there are some dysbiotic bacteria that we need to address. I hope that's helpful. Thank you.